one thing they tout a lot about is I think it was like 75% of people that are using Snap are interacting with their AR features. This seems to be a big trend in what Snap is doing. And I'm personally really excited about like the AR advertising opportunities that I heard them talking about on the call as we get the new normal illness 19 kind of situation, you know, trying on clothes, trying on makeup. Like some of these AR things are actually like the adoption's accelerating because of this new normal. So that was kind of an interesting tidbit. And then lenses, I believe we had 9,000 lenses had been created in Q1, up from 700,000. That's another key metric that I've been following to kind of show, I guess, the creator side of that AR community. But yeah, what was your take on that quarter? Because it seems like to me this long-term thesis of slowly integrating more AR features and slowly getting more of the app's engagement towards that side of the technology has been slowly basically going perfectly according to Spiegel's plan.
Yeah, I think if you go back, there was a certain point, I don't even think it was in any of their SEC, like in the press release or in any of the documents, but there's an article, it was probably about a year ago. It, it was some data point, like the average DAU plays with AR for 3 minutes a day or something, like plays with it. Like the DAUs that use AR play with it 3 minutes a day. So it's like that's using the filters, like, you know, making cool faces into the camera, like while like you're, you know, wearing an ad basically. And obviously not that whole 3 minutes is advertising per se, but like there's like no other form of advertising that you like literally play with the ad and like and send it to somebody else. Like it's just insane. I think we've talked about this before when I've come on your channel. Like I think AR is pretty much one of the only forms of advertising where you like literally send people the ad, like, and you probably send it to like 10 people. You're like, look at this funny filter, like, oh, it's sponsored, like download the app or whatever. And like nobody really thinks about that. They're just like, oh, this is hilarious. It made me
Yeah.
feel good or made me feel happy to play around with this. And, you know, I sent it to my cousin, my brother, my friend, my mom. Uh, so
It's
yeah, in
almost like
terms
the
of,
holy grail of advertising where it actually adds value and is a positive thing. And I think Snap is really interesting in that the story as well first was, I think, long term as one of the highest CPM potentials of any advertising format on mobile, which is something you've really helped me understand. But then you think about what their next innovation could be in advertising. You know, Spiegel's really the genius and mastermind. Facebook's trying to pivot their whole business to stories now because that's a better monetization avenue. And now I see like what you're saying, these AR lens advertises to me are even a better, like it's where we keep wondering what's after the story, what's better that could disrupt it. I almost feel like this
yeah.
is one of those things that is a really exciting new monetization avenue for Snap.
Yeah. And you just kind of think, if you just think of supply and demand, like the supply of video ads available on the internet, it just keeps going up. You know, people are using mobile now, or mobile more and more, not just in the US, but globally. That's just going to keep proliferating. And yeah, if you think about it as kind of a supply and demand equation, like the supply of ads of video total inventory is going to keep increasing. So in theory, that's going to put downward pressure on pricing. And then you have something like TikTok that comes in, and if you look at some of the data that's coming out, people are basically spending as much time on TikTok as they are on Instagram and Snap. But TikTok has like a third of the user size as Instagram and Snap. So like per user, people on TikTok are on it like twice as much as they are on Instagram. So
Wow.
like long story short, talk about a massive platform that has, you know, very good granular data targeting and the ability to reach, you know, a lot of people. There's just a new one that just popped up with as much available inventory at scale as Instagram. So you basically you flood the market with supply. I don't think prices will like, you know, get cut in half or anything. Because if you can like prove that ads are working, they're converting, users go on and do different things, people will pay for them. But I mean, it just makes it really hard when you're Facebook. You look at how Facebook's been generating most of its revenue, basically since it's gone public. It's been from increasing ad prices and increasing inventory in the US and
ARPU.
Canada. Yeah, it's all been an ARPU expansion story, and it's all in the US. It's from basically in the beginning it was expanding impressions, but you're seeing people use Facebook and Instagram less, so they can't keep showing more ad impressions. Like they're gonna run out of space, so it's all about price. So Anyways, yeah, when you look at Snap right now, like you look at the AR stuff, I think they said the total time spent playing with AR was up 85% year over year. And revenue growth was up 44%. So they're expanding the total 44% year over year. So they're expanding kind of the total available space to show ads double what they're growing revenue at. So it leaves them a lot of room to kind of slowly expand into it. If they need to worry about pressure on pricing over time to like keep the ad network competitive for their advertisers and have their advertisers like winning, making money. I know the all the platforms talk with that in their earnings, like we're helping advertisers win, etc. That's really important. So that's really I think one of the big stories, like you said, it's the AR stuff. It's kind of like it's a unique ad property that doesn't really exist anywhere yet, and they made it self-serve over the last couple of years. Like you or me could go in, we could you have to create the 3D asset, which obviously you need the expertise there. But we could literally go in and you could run an ad for hyperchange on Snap, like an AR filter, if you really wanted to. And that doesn't really exist anywhere yet. You got to like go to the sales team. Sometimes you can do like a mobile browser ad that's like that, but being able to do that in Snapchat or like on Instagram for in like a controlled environment like that, that's huge. I think there's a ton of potential there that Snap hasn't really tapped into yet.